Hey guys, welcome back to the Blondest Podcast. I'm your host, Savannah Boda.
And I'm your co-host, Tyler Jacoby.
We're so happy y'all are here. Seriously, my heart has been so full. We just hit 1 million downloads on our episodes. I think that's how you say it. And we're so happy. Oh my God, I've had this podcast since 2020, like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And so much has changed. I mean, I started it in my salon suite, and now I'm in a storefront with 4 employees and a baby and a husband. I mean, I just love all of you for listening and being so supportive of us, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. You've been with me through so many phases of my life, and we're just so happy and blessed, and we just feel like we've created such a nice community, and I just love y'all. I do so much.
Yep. And I want to thank you guys for being so welcoming to me on this podcast. I was honestly really nervous at first to come on just because Savannah's an esthetician, and her motto with the podcast is a little bit of skincare, but like mostly her life. So
Yeah.
It wasn't horrible, but it was just like, do I have stuff to contribute? But I feel I feel like it's gone pretty well. So
Yeah.
just want to thank you guys for listening every week. We see your guys' support.
Everyone loves you.
Well, but
Just want to point out today, Tyler is drinking a Pure Life water bottle, not a Fiji water. So I think he's been humbled.
I just drank the Fiji on the way here. I was so thirsty this morning, and this is what they had here. But yeah, it's
Yay.
still good. Water is water.
Water is water. Okay, so we have a special guest if you're watching the YouTube video right now. I got a puppy, which
She
you guys
did
probably
get a
already know from
puppy.
Instagram. Her name is Millie, and I guess you could say it's after Milia. I was trying to pick,
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
yeah, or millisecond for like a laser. There's a lot of things like millisecond.
Okay. I think Millie is like more clever
Yeah,
than millisecond. Millisecond like doesn't give skincare right off the bat. Like it's just like time.
yeah.
But like Millie is
More.
quite esthetician.
Yeah. I was trying to find a skincare name and see, okay, if I got another boy dog, whenever I get another boy dog, I would name it Zinc.
Cute.
And if anyone copies that, you can. It's fine. But just know that that will be my dog's name. And for her, I just feel like it was just hard. Like I got a lot of good name recommendations, like Mandy for mandelic acid, Sally for salicylic acid. Someone told me to name her Melanoma. I was like, pass on Melanoma.
I don't know about that.
But I got some really good name suggestions. People really came out. A lot of people were riding hard for Fiona, which is not skin related, but they just thought Fitz and Fiona was cute. It's just giving Shrek for me.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like I
That
cannot
name's, like,
think of the
ruined.
name. Yeah, the name Fiona, I literally imagine like a big green
Ogre.
Yeah.
She was also a beautiful
She was a beautiful
brunette.
princess.
She was also a princess before.
Was she a princess? Yeah.
I don't know. We should probably rewatch that movie.
Yeah, it's been a
It's actually
really
on
long time.
Netflix now.
Okay.
Shrek 1, 2, and 3. And Puss in Boots.
Okay.
And Puss in Boots 2.
Okay.
All of the Shrek saga.
I guess we have a marathon to do.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think what other names people had. There were some really good ones. Sunny for sunscreen, but I feel like
Okay.
that was more of a boy name. I don't know. It wasn't giving girl.
Was Sunny with a chance? That was a girl.
Yeah, but they didn't spell it like Sunny. It was like Sonny.
Yeah.
You're being crazy, Millie. You're not doing a good debut. She's actually very calm. This is her 3rd day, so.
Yeah. She's still new to the family. I do love her now, but at first I thought Savannah was absolutely out of her mind for wanting to get a dog because, as you'll hear in this episode, there's also a lot of other stuff going on in her life where
Well, I like chaos, guys. I do things in twos. I bought a lot and I bought a puppy. Like, I always have things in twos, like planning Italy, planning a wedding. Like, everything in my life, and every 6 months, I feel like I don't know, maybe I should talk to my therapist about this. But I just, like, have the desire. I like chaos in my life. I can't help it. I just thrive on stress and chaos. Like, if I'm not stressed out, I'm stressed that I'm not stressed. And that's, like, a weird thing about me, but it's so true. Like, I thrive with a lot of, like, I love to have so many things cooking on the stove.
yeah. But I think, like you said, like maybe you should talk to your therapist about that. Maybe like fixing that you're stressed because you're not stressed
Yeah.
would be better than just being stressed all the time.
Yeah, but life's more fun with stress in it. I just think, it's boring to be just like, I don't know. I don't, peace and quiet and just like that just stresses me out.
Can't relate.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it makes you successful. So,
Yeah, that's what Jan said. That's my therapist, Jan.
yeah. So I can get on board with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, new dog. So really what happened was
I'm ready to get pregnant, okay?
Yes.
I have hella baby fever. I want a baby inside me right now. Like Lance refuses to impregnate me because he wants me to drink in Italy, and I'm not a big drinker.
okay, that's not the only reason.
Okay, but a little bit. He's like, I want you to drink wine with me, and like you're gonna be nauseous in Italy, and we're spending all this money to go to Italy, and he doesn't want me to be like 8 weeks pregnant in Italy and like going through morning sickness. Because when I had Cyrus, when I got pregnant with Cyrus, I like missed like 2 weeks at work. I was so sick. Like, remember, I would like show up to work and then like start immediately. Lance would drive me because I couldn't drive myself. And I'd throw up like 3 times on the way there. And I'm like, okay, if I get there and I can't make it 30 minutes, like I'll go home. And like literally every day for 2 weeks, he drove me to work. I attempted to work and then I couldn't work. And so we don't want that to happen like for 2 weeks in Italy when we're there for literally 2 weeks. So that's another reason we don't want the morning sickness. But Lance, I have to be respectful of it too, because I get it. He's the one staying home with the kids, and so it's a big responsibility for him, and I don't want him to like resent it, or he needs to be ready too. It takes 2 to make a baby, and I have to be respectful of his time and like wait for him to be ready. But I told him, he was like, I don't want a kid right now, and I'm like, that's fine. You're not going to have one right now. It's going to be 9 months. Like, you're fine. Like, you might feel differently in 9 months. But we're definitely going to have a second baby. Lance wants one. It's just not the right time. We're going to wait in Italy to start making baby number 2.
Cyrus is in his crazy era right now. Like, for sure. Cyrus, last night, so it was my birthday this past weekend, and we went out to dinner last night. And Cyrus, I've never seen him so rambunctious before.
He just started this new laugh.
Yeah, he started this new laugh, and he's not even laughing because anything's funny. He's 100% laughing just because he wants to do this laugh.
He likes to hear it.
Like it's so loud. He does it like
try to do it.
No, I'm not.
It's like ha 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 ha.
But like deep. I don't even know what it is. But and then like so this woman next to us. Oh.
Millie just stole something.
I hope you guys are watching this episode because anyway, so yeah, we had so we always eat, we've talked about this before, we always eat with the geriatric crowd because Lance is on a strict schedule with Mr. Cyrus, so he has to be in bed by 7:30. So we go to dinner at 5:30.
Yeah.
And if you guys go out to eat, you guys know 5:30 is not the time that it is poppin'. That is when
it's like the people that are like about to die and the people that just had kids are eating.
So we went out, but so there's this
even before I had Cyrus, I was with the geriatric crowd always because I love eating at 5:30 and then you get full and you go to bed and you watch TV shows. Like eating late isn't my vibe. I don't like to eat late. I've never liked it.
I like eating late.
It's not good for your digestive system. It's better to eat your dinner at 5:36. And
if you go to bed at midnight, then you're fine.
Okay, well, I go to bed by 10.
Not last night.
Not last night.
But so we went, and there's a brand new restaurant in Flower Mound that we wanted to try. So we went there, and the old couple next to us, Cyrus was just looking at them and
he was like, beep, beep.
Yeah, the
beep,
whole time.
Beep, right in front of their face. And we were trying to get him to be quiet because I felt bad. I get it, but they asked to move. That's how bad
it was kind of awkward. They just got up and moved, and we were like, oop. And Savannah was like, should I fight them? And I was like, no, I get it. And she was like, yeah, I get it too.
Yeah. And when it's not your kid, it's annoying. I get it. But now that I'm a mom, I'm more understanding of that kind of stuff for sure. Millie, you're usually so calm. I don't really understand what's happening today.
It's because she slept the whole way here.
Yeah, that's why I'm about to go give her to my podcast guy. But anyways, so the guy too was like, oh, let me decrumb your table 8 times. It's just when people don't want your kid there and they're very subliminal about it and subtle, but it's that was the vibe. And they also didn't have a high chair there. So they're basically fuck your kids. Any restaurant that doesn't have a high chair is not saying don't bring your kid, but they're low key, don't fucking bring your kid.
Yeah, honestly, that was the problem that we had was that there was no high
free
chair.
Range.
Yeah, he was literally
there was nowhere to contain him.
He was literally just trying to jump up on the table. And so anyway, that happened. And then we went back to Savannah's house. And so we're sitting there watching a TV show. And there's a knock at the door. And Savannah's like, oh, can you go get it? Because Lance, she sent him to like go do some boxes in the garage or something like that. So I go to answer the door. And then what did I see?
A hillbilly.
A hillbilly.
Crazy Bubba.
Crazy Bubba, is that his name?
Tyler's birthday is today. It's been another year. He likes to drink his Dr. Pepper. That is what I hear. I wrote a song and he
came and sang it, and it was mortifying.
I knew. So for Tyler's birthday, he's going to Italy. All expenses paid by mommy.
By mommy, yes, that is true. So
that's his birthday gift for the next 5 years. But I also it's like when your mom gives you your Christmas presents early and then there's like nothing under the tree and you're like, even though you already, this might sound very privileged, but you know that, I mean, if you can relate, you can relate. If you can't relate, you can't relate. But if you can, you know what I'm talking about? My mom was always like that. I'd always pester her and be like, no, I want my shoes now because I want to wear them to school, or like whenever, you want it before, right? And so then I'd get sad because there's nothing under the tree, and I'd always like kind of like bully her into getting me more presents so that there was something under the tree. So that's how I felt with Tyler. He didn't bully me. I just, it's just sad because you feel like a bad friend, even though it just, I don't know. I'm weird about that.
No, it's normal.
It's just like if you don't have anything to open up on your birthday, it's kind of like sad, right? So I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to spend like too much money since we're spending so much on Italy and like it's a huge thing, but I got him some cupcakes and then I was like, you know what? I like experiences. I'm a really big experience person. I don't really like gifts. I like memories and things that just, everyone knows if you ever get me a gift, like I like experiences. Like my staff got me like go paint your pet for Christmas. Tyler did a candle making class for me one year. Like I like experiences. So anyways, I hired this hillbilly to come sing him happy birthday, and there were a lot of different things you could have done. Like there was like a banana, a monkey. There were like so many different things. But I thought the hillbilly would be the best because I kind of live in the country and he's going to be coming up to my front door. So I thought it would just be like wiser. I just felt like it would fit the theme better and like he'd be more confused for a longer amount of time because if someone like walked up with a banana suit, like immediately like he would know. So I was trying to like...
Yeah, no, when I opened the door, I was definitely confused. But then he was like, are you Tyler? And then I was like, okay, I know what this is for. He gave it away with the, you're Tyler. Or like, is this... My brain just stopped.
I told
is
you.
Your name Tyler?
You're losing brain cells.
No, I'm not. But it's just because I'm tired. We were up late. But yeah, so she has a video of it. Yeah. And I look like I am extremely uncomfortable. But it was funny. It was good. It was a good one.
It was more for me than you, I think. I knew you would like be uncomfortable with it, but I also knew that you'd like it. But anyways.
Yeah, it was definitely both of them.
Yeah. So that's what we did. And it was fun. But I'm very excited to get pregnant with baby number 2. People always ask me like how I balance life and how I, do all the things that I do. And honestly, like I said earlier, I just really thrive on chaos and I have such a good husband. I really do. Like he helps me with everything.
And a good best friend.
And a good best friend. I do. I'm very blessed and have really helpful and supportive people in my life. But I'm trying to think. Oh, I did start therapy. Yay. Therapy slay. Everyone's been trying to get me to go to therapy in my life for years. And I've avoided it, honestly, guys. Because I'm that person, like I've gone through a lot of stuff in my life, a lot of trauma and just a lot of, and I've talked about it on the podcast before, but just a lot of things. And I feel like it's starting to affect my personal life, my business life, me as a mother, and just some things that I feel like I needed to like work out. And the reason I avoided therapy is just like, one, for a long time, I didn't want to work out because I didn't have time, right? Because it takes away from me being home, relaxing, or working at home. Sorry, guys. And I think I had to switch my mindset of like, this is taking away time from me doing these other things to this is good for my mental health. This is fueling my body. This is good for me. Like it's healthy to have a life or hobbies outside of being at work and being at home in bed, because that's literally my life. Like I am either working or I'm in bed. Like I don't even hang out in the living room typically. Like when I get home before my son, I just would go straight to the bed and I would just work on my phone until my eyes got so heavy that I shut them. And so therapy has been so good. What really forced me to get into it is now that Cyrus is getting older and understanding things more, I just want to work through some of the stuff that I've gone through, especially the wilderness. I blocked out a lot of it. And if you guys don't know, I was they call it gooned. It's professionally kidnapped. So 2 people came into my room at 2 a.m. when I was 15 and were like, your parents hired us. We're taking you away. And I was like, to where? And they're like, we don't know the details, but you have to come with us right now. And I thought I was being abducted. I really did. I was like, did my parents really approve this? Are they all tied up downstairs, murdered? So it was very traumatic for me. And I laugh and smile when I talk about stuff like this because that's how I cope. But I literally, my parents and my brother were at a hotel room. So I had no idea, was this legit? There wasn't any text yes, man, thumbs up, you're supposed to go with this big scary man and woman, go for it. They're big people, they are big bitches, okay? Linebackers, okay? Huge. And I think that was really hard for me too, because when I got to my program, a lot of people's parents dropped them off, and I wasn't they even told my parents, oh my God, she was the first one that didn't try to punch us, run away, scratch us, or bite us. Because I was just okay. And started crying quietly and was and let them take me. And
you're I'm not a runner.
I'm not a runner. One thing about me is I will always survive and prevail because I persevere. Or is it prevail? Prevail. Always, because I'm compliant as fuck. If someone abducted me and kidnapped me, I would do everything they say, and I would help them abduct other people. I would be such a good A1
oh my
kidnappee. I would, because I am obedient under authority. I really am. I always have been. And
except when it's a job.
Yes, except when it's a job that I'm not in charge of. But you know what I'm saying? But you have to fake it till you make it to get out, right?
Yeah,
so you get close to the perpetrator, you make them like you, and then that's when you can stab them.
Do you think you're mentally strong enough to not get Stockholm syndrome though?
No, I would totally get Stockholm syndrome for sure. I'd love my abuser. Yeah,
exactly.
For sure. No, I definitely am that person to gaslight myself. Be they loved me. They did it because they loved me. Sadly, but it was hard, and I think that caused me a lot of abandonment issues, and I also want to say I don't think I know my parents didn't send me to the wilderness because they wanted to hurt me. They were just didn't know what to do, and I was really suicidal and depressed, and they were trying to just do whatever. My mom saw this on a freaking Dr. Phil episode, which I will say is kind of ridiculous. She was watching Dr. Phil and was oh, second nature, slay, let's send Savannah. But at the end of the day, I haven't gone through that. I don't know what it's like to have a suicidal kid. And I feel when you feel there's nothing to do, you don't know what to do, There's no right decision at that point. And I think too, from my parents' mental health at that time wasn't really talked about. And there wasn't really any support or help for parents. And I was just suffering, and they wanted to do whatever they could. I think now, would they have sent me to the wilderness knowing what I went through? No. But they didn't know how bad it was, they really didn't know. And a lot of these programs, they gaslight your parents too. And they're we're going to change your kid's life. It's going to be amazing and wonderful. All these promises. And I mean, it was super expensive. So I truly don't think they purposely, we're going to send Savannah here to cause her trauma. It was definitely to help me, but it obviously, I don't know. That's why I'm in therapy, guys, because I have mixed feelings about the wilderness. I feel it was so traumatic that it almost was the best thing to ever happen to me, because
nothing could be worse than that.
Nothing could be worse than that. It's when you hit fucking rock bottom and you go through something so hard, there's only up from there. And it really gives you perspective on life, that it's okay, I was just being bullied. And I'm not minimizing my feelings at all. I went through a really hard time, but I think when you go there and you hear other people's stories, and the girls that I was with in that group went through a lot of really traumatic stuff, and this is a trigger warning, of course, for anyone listening to this, but just sexual abuse and things like that, and being beat by their families, and really hard-hitting stuff. And not to minimize my feelings, but mine was just I was sad and bullied, and was going through an eating disorder, and just normal 15-year-old girl feelings,
just with
but
depression.
When you only know what you know, that's all you know. So for me, that was my I didn't know anything worse than what I was going through. So for me, that was end of the world, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think when I went there, like, it really just taught me that there is a lot worse out there. Like, life's not that bad. Like, you can get through it. Like, there's a lot at the end of the tunnel. But again, too, like, it was really hard. So I suppressed a lot of these emotions. And so going to therapy has really helped me, you know, work through that and get to a better place of healing. Because I think, you know, when I got into the wilderness, I was just like, let's put that in the past, like, and move forward from that and, like, just not think about it, you know? But therapy's been really good. I've really loved Jan. She's really helped me too with like work stuff. She does such a good job with everything, work, relationships. I mean, she's helped me be more assertive in the workplace. I think one of my biggest faults is I'm a very big people pleaser and I just want people to like me, that sometimes like I let people disrespect me or I don't have boundaries or, you know, I look past little things that my staff will do because I'm like, oh, well, like, they had a bad day today. Like, oh, like they're, you know, like I just look past, like I see people for people and I don't, and it's hard. And this is what my therapist said. She's like, it's like a beautiful thing that I have is I'm very empathetic, but as a boss, it's also my downfall because I'm so empathetic that, you know, some bosses would be like, okay, you're late like 5 times this week. Like, that's black and white, you know?
Yeah.
But for me, I know we're a small team. I know them on a personal level. So I'm like, well, she's pregnant or, you know, she lives an hour away. Like she's making like she's sacrificing to come drive an hour. Like I see people for people. So I think that it is, you know, something I've always struggled with as a boss is to make that separation. And that's what my therapist is really helping me with too. And Lance is like, hey, we can write it off if she's talking to you about business stuff during your therapy sessions because Jan ain't cheap. But listen, Jan is worth every penny. She's great. But I think that is hard, you know, as a business owner for sure, is trying to make those boundaries and, you know, like, yes, I see you as a person, but also like this is a place of work. This is a business. And I'm really hard. It's really hard for me. So that's really what I'm working on, that and getting through my wilderness trauma.
Yep. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of you.
Have you seen any changes since I started therapy?
I think
it hasn't been long.
No, it's been what, like
a month.
Yeah. No, I think I would say not any drastic changes, but I think that you definitely in like the workplace, I think you're being more of a boss and less of a friend during business hours. And that's the thing is like there's a way to do it to where you don't have to like again be so black and white where like you're either like this bitch boss, you know, who like is like not friendly at all, but like I think you can be a little less friendly sometimes. Or, like a little less. But that's the hard part for Savannah. And like she said, like it's such a small team that it's almost
and
like
I want
a family.
them to like me.
Yeah. And like
I want them to go home and be like, wow, I love my boss. Savannah is so fucking cool. Like Savannah's just great. Like that's what I want them to say. Like my fear is like if I'm like, hey, like you were late today, like don't do it again. They're like, Savannah's such a bitch. Like I fucking hate her. Like she's awful. Like that cunt, you know? And also with having a big social platform too, like it always scares me that like people are gonna be like, I worked for Savannah. And like, you know, like I just don't want people to talk bad about me. Like I'm so sensitive to that stuff. Like, you know, like my haters like bother the shit out of me. And I wish I could be like, I'm an unbothered queen, like hate me bitch. But like, that's not my personality. Like it hurts. Like I like to be liked. Like I want to be liked. Like I live to be liked. I like to be liked. I don't know what else to say it. Like, I'm a pick me bitch, okay?
And I think also another aspect of it is that like most jobs, you don't interact and see your boss all day.
Yeah.
But like at your place, like you're with them all the time. So it's like
always.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Like but I think
and it's hard too because I'm so open on social media. Like I talk about like my dark butthole and stuff. And so then it's like if I'm talking about that like so openly to like 247,000 people, like, you know, my staff sees it, you know, like.
So it's hard.
It's hard because it's, you know, you put so much of your personal life on social media too, and you're also someone's boss. And so it's just like a lot of my business is my personal life now that I'm a skincare influencer or whatever. I don't really know what I am, an SD influencer. I don't know. But it is a lot of pressure. And that's the other thing too I'm going to therapy for is just like the pressure of being online and like feeling like everything is under scrutiny all the time. And it's like, I love sharing my life, but when you have more eyes on you, there is more room for judgment. And I used to feel like I could be more open on my page. And I feel like ever since I've gone to therapy, I've been more open like I used to be in the past about like super personal stuff because that's what made people want to follow me and like love me. And I think now that I'm a mom, obviously, like I put more stress on that because I'm like, oh, well, it's just me. Like, I don't care what people think about me. But now I'm Cyrus's mom. And so that is a big part too, that I'm like, I have to be a good example. I don't want to embarrass him either. But I also don't want to lose the part of me that grew my following, which was being so open. And like, yeah, most people won't talk about their butthole being brown on the internet. But so many people DM'd me like, oh my God, I had this issue too. And I had clients even replying to that saying like, I have this issue. Like, if you figure out a way, like, let me know. Like, I'd love to get this service done. And so like, yes, it's funny. And yes, like, you know, it's raw and open, but also it's beneficial and it helps people. And there's things that about our bodies that we don't share or want to talk about openly because we think we're the only one. And like, you know, you don't want to go up to your girlfriend and be like, hey, is your butthole brown? Her be like, no, mine's pink as yours brown. Like, oh my God, you know, and judge you and feel judged for that. So I think when you have a big person being like, hey, I get butt acne, like I get pimples on my butt, or I have this like issue, it makes you feel less alone.
Slay.
So I'm going to start a Facebook group for brown buttholes. Brown butthole support group. It's sad. It used to be so pink.
I don't want to talk about that.
Why?
I don't know.
Does it make you sad?
No, it doesn't make me sad.
I'm sorry, what color is your butthole, Tyler?
I don't know.
Let's check it after.
I don't know why you're like bending over in the mirror looking at your butthole.
I did it.
How else would you have known?
Well, listen, Tyler.
Okay, that checkmate.
I came home from Pilates. I took off my pants. Okay?
We can talk about this later.
All right. Anyways, it's brown.
Any other life updates?
No, not really.
Just been meeting with people to build her home.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out home builders.
What she wants.
Yes.
And yeah, no. Cyrus is good. Lance is good. Business is good. She's about to go to
my whole summer. I'm traveling like all over the world, which is fun. Not over the world, all over the United States pretty much, and Italy. But I will be in Philadelphia for Face Reality. I'm speaking for them. After that, I'm going to California for the Face Realities ambassador group meetup thing. So we're doing like some video content, some pictures, all that fun stuff. And there's some new ambassadors this year. So I'm really excited to meet everybody. And it's so fun going to stuff like that and just being with other business owners. And it's more of a like special close knit group. So I'm really excited for that, to meet all the new ambassadors. And then I will be going to Florida with my mom and dad, Cyrus and Lance. We did that last year as well. We're going to try to make it a family tradition to do every single year, which will be so fun. I hope he likes the water. I'm nervous to see how he's going to do. And then after that, I'm going to Italy. And then I'm going to Vegas for IECSC, which is going to be the biggest skincare show. So I am just praying that...
Is Vegas bigger than New York?
Yes, definitely. It's the biggest one. So I am just praying it's not too chaotic. But I'm really excited. I'm not going to stay super long. I'm just going to go for my speech and then leave because I'll be gone, you know, from Italy, and then I get home for like a week and then I have to go to Vegas and I'm going to miss Cyrus so much. I just want to be back with my family. So I will just be there for my speech and then dip in home. And Vegas is not my scene. I'm
dirty. It's
dirty and party, and there's nothing to do in Vegas besides like drink and gamble and shop. And I don't need to shop right now because I'm budgeting for my house. So no shopping for Savannah.
No shopping.
I don't like drinking and gambling. If you guys know my last episode or my last Vegas podcast about my trauma with Lance trying to gamble and losing $100 in like literally 2 seconds. Yeah, I like to make money, not lose it. Gambling is not for me. I'd rather just work.
Absolutely.
Instead of risk my odds. But yeah, okay. I love you guys so much. Happy Monday. We will see you next time.
Bye, guys. Love you.